Is it somebody right on my call? This is the moment you're meant to know.
Like time through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives.
Hello there, sunflowers, and how are you guys today? Well, I'm here to do a reading on Tia Mowry because I'm quite curious. Actually, Mama Crone and I are both quite curious. However, it seems like here in the Crones household, we each got one of the sisters. Mama Crone has Tamia Mowry, and I have Tia Mowry. So because of that, why not do a reading on Tia because she is so in love apparently. I mean, I am glad for her. Girl was desperate, searching, looking hard up and down for love. So I'm glad she has finally found it after the whole hoopla loop-de-doop circle that she was in. And I still think she's in that circle because guess what? Mama Crone had brought it to my attention, and I think it was a really good point, is talking about the cycle that Tia seems to have found herself in. If I could just, here we go. So, before I dive into what Mama Crone had to say, let me read this article to you that I had just happened to find on doing a quick search because there really is not much on Tia at this very moment. However, just 2-3 weeks ago, Essence posted an article saying how Tia Mowry manifested her new relationship. I'm like, I love that. Yes, manifest that love, girl. But here, no, this is what I found out. So this is what the quote says. I was debating. His name is Jeon, and he is a teacher. He also has his master's. He's studied in France, and he's an artist. He's an avid reader. Some of my favorite things we do together is we'll go to the Buddhist temple and we'll meditate together. We'll meditate every Wednesday. He will read to me at night before we go to bed, and the books he'll read to me is about co-parenting. He has 2 kids. Our kids are around the same age, 15 and 8, a boy and a girl. He's a wonderful human being. Some of the things he just says, how can I support you? His emotional intelligence is amazing. Okay, you see the high praises, but here we go. I manifested this. Basically, what I did last year was a friend of mine had told me to listen to music, put some candles on, and just write out a list of what you would like in a partner. I mean, true, yes. That's exactly how you do that. But she said, and I'm glad that it came around the time that I did it because I really wouldn't have known what I wanted 3 years ago. How long, girl, when did you do, what? She did this last year? Okay. So it took her 2 years to get to the point where she wanted to manifest a lover. And then a year later, that lover finally comes around. So now she knows from 3 years that she has grown what she wants. So what about a year ago when she manifested him? But I digress. Maybe it's just the way that I'm interpreting it. Anyway, I'm glad that it came around the time that it did because I really wouldn't have known what I wanted 3 years ago. I really need to sit in solitude and learn who I am first. Before I even figured out what it was and what I wanted, I did that. And not only did I do that, I am a huge believer in neuroscience. Okay. I study a lot about the brain and the visuals and meditation. So I would literally close my eyes and I would meditate about my partner. I would meditate about the feelings I would want to feel. And the feeling was my nervous system being safe. Okay, girl, clock it. Yes. Love that. And that's exactly what he does. He's amazing. So, great high praises, right? Amazing. Manifested this. This is what she wanted. However, Mama Crone brought to my attention that is Tia Mowry still repeating the same cycles? Because didn't she divorce her husband because he was beneath her? He was a lower level, and now she's got a teacher, but he studied in France. He's very into the things that I'm into. Okay, well, about Corey, what was Corey into? But anyway, So, yes, is this like a naive younger version of Corey? Is this like Corey 2.0? It's like everything that Corey gave you, but better, but it's still not the ka-ching finances that you're looking for. Because Corey, like you remember Corey before he met Tia. Well, this almost seems like exactly what she's doing. Whoever this Javon, I hope I pronounced that right. I'm just going to call him Jay. Whoever this Jay is, he's a teacher. He has his own studio. Okay, I'll give it that. He has his own little business. But really, who is he before Tia? I'm just saying. So because of that, it's almost like a Corey all over again. It's like she's fallen into the same traps. Almost like I questioned just recently, like she said. I mean, reading in the article a little bit more, she said that she had to find some time to sit with it and figure out herself before she could go and get what she wanted in a relationship, so she would be able to manifest it. And now she realizes that I'm glad that it took a year, because a year ago, I wouldn't have been ready for this. I was manifesting it, but I wasn't ready for this. Now I'm fully ready for it in the 3 year. Like, if that's the case, then you manifested something that wasn't quite right. Because if you were still trying to figure that out, then you're going to get a relationship. But anyway, we see the problems here. So because of that, I just want to pull some cards. You know what? Let me just make sure. Oh, yes. This could also maybe, who knows, maybe Tia needs a little ego boost. Like I said, she has been searching high and low for a relationship. So if she could get another Corey when she desperately wanted Corey, why not settle for another Corey? I'm just saying. So because of this, could this help her boost her ego? Because she's like feeling down the dump slumps that nobody wants me, nobody, yeah. And now she finally gets somebody and she's just like, you know what? You're everything that I want. You're boosting my ego. I manifested you and you came to me. I mean, that's great and all, but like, you know how that's going to boost your ego? Like, man, I'm so amazing. I can manifest love. Who needs Corey? I can just manifest love. If I'm feeling lonely, just manifest it and it'll come to me. That's how I feel like it boosted her ego. But she knew it took a year for her to gain some gratitude for it. But still, it boosted her ego because she's just like, I'm glad it came around when it did, because now I'm ready. And it's everything that I wanted. Okay, well, what does he want? You know, it's kind of, I don't want to say giving obsession, but kind of like that One Wish Willow kind of thing in the movie where, I'm not saying that this is how she like manifested or used magic, but she so seemed to be invested in herself and what she likes and what they like. He's co-parenting. They have children around the same age. I mean, come on now. It's like everything is checking off Tia's box and she's like, ding, 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 ding. This is it. I hit jackpot, baby. I manifested exactly what I wanted. I got everything. And I don't think that's how it works in real life. So because of that, let's just pull some cards. How is Tia's love life now that she has manifested the man of her dreams? How is she feeling? Just curious. I'm not trying to like rain on her parade, because I truly do want her to find love because she so desperately wants it, and I truly want her to find somebody that's going to love her, but I also don't want her to settle too. You know, girl's girl. So we have a 7 of Wands. I'm not liking how that's starting already because that's a sort of a defense. Now, what is she on the defense of or for? Let's find out. Death. It's like she's warding off a death and ending, but let's find out. Let's dig a little bit more deeper to see what this truly is. The Foundation, we have the Chariot. Oh no. 9 of Pentacles. I could believe that. Star. This is not looking great, you guys. Oh, it's just getting more worse. We have the 5 of Swords. So, yeah, you know, I almost want to say she kind of faking the funk. But let me just pull some cards to like really clarify, because I can see exactly why the death is the problem here. Because we have the Star card, which is like hoping. But then we got the Chariot, which I talked about her past and how she is still trying to get over it. And that's her foundation. And to have the Chariot there is usually going to be something that's going to keep you from moving forward as such as you would like, because something keeps pulling you back, because you got some strings attached that you're trying to keep running forward from. You need to cut those ties right at the foundation, right at the root. And she hasn't quite done that yet. So it's tagging along with her as she's trying to have this new love. And so because of all that, it's like the Star, the hopes. It's like, even though it's still there, even though it's still lingering, I can still feel it inside of me. I hope I can move past this. I hope that, I can fight off whatever these inner feelings that I'm going through, and that this relationship can actually make it past. Whatever transitional phase that I'm going through, maybe she's metamorphosizing. And during the time of that period, that's what they usually say when you're in the process of healing, becoming your greater and better self, is usually when love gets into your life. And sometimes you got to like wonder and question, is that like the trick of the devil? Because, especially when it's something you desperately want, it's like a little carrot dingling in your face like a rabbit. You're just like, I have to go for it. So because of that, it's like, is this like another challenge, another test? Because like I said, she manifested this after all. She has hopes, dreams, and then put intentions into this. Like she said, visualization, neuroscience. She is meditating, visualizing, feeling it all in her nervous system, which is all about how relationships, how do people make you feel internally? And that's what you want. You want a calm, healthy, safe nervous system. And if that's what he gives her, great. That's amazing. But we got some Star here, which is hoping against some trepidation that's going on internally within inside of herself. So it's like, this is all great and amazing, but there's still something inside of her. It's not even the relationship. Like the relationship is perfect. Like what she says is as it is. But how she's feeling internally about this relationship is a completely different story. It is actually fighting against herself. I don't want to say her inner demons, but just fighting against her, I don't want to say, you know how it is, like self-sabotaging, her insecurities, her negativities, the things, like I said in the past, that she was holding on to because she was the Nine of Pentacles. So she was feeling herself in the past, and she's like, all I need is just love to complete me. I'm the Nine of Pentacles. I got it all going on. I'm all that in a bag of chips. So Tia's like, yes, who wouldn't want me? I am marketable. I am profitable. Let me put myself out there. So she's just like waiting for that person to come. And now that he finally has, it's like the Seven of Wands. It's like now that she has gotten in the relationship, it's like an internal conflict with inside of herself that she is battling, as Death says. It's something that she's going to have to overcome if she wants this relationship to work. Whew. Listen, I wasn't trying to dive that deep into her relationship, but that's just what the cards are bringing out to me. And what do I see here in her future? Well, we have the Five of Swords, which is still more friction. So we have the Star, the Death, the Chariot, and actually everything but the Nine of Pentacles. Honestly, I wish the Nine of Pentacles was the representative for Tia, because everything else is just symbolizing a sis fighting out here for her life when it comes to this relationship internally with inside of herself. Because I'm going to shuffle these cards, because usually when it comes to relationships, yeah, it's great. You do all that inner work when you're outside of a relationship. But as I always say, relationships are mirrors, and they are going to reflect back qualities and aspects of yourself that you might not have recognized are within inside of yourself, or just things that you have buried and put in your like shadow side, and it comes up in the relationship, and it might irk you. The Chariot, that type of energy, those things that are being brought up when you're into a relationship. You don't have to deal with it when you're not in a relationship, because you don't have a mirror. It's just you, yourself, and your eye. There's nobody else you have to interact with. But once you have to start interacting with somebody and start sharing and expressing and opening up yourself with somebody, well, then you start getting to see sides of yourself. So because of that, that's what I'm seeing here that she's getting with Jay. This relationship has opened up I don't want to say a can of worms, but some things that she's trying to keep wayside and dormant within inside of herself that she thought was dormant until she got serious and deep, because they're talking about co-parenting. How long have you guys been together? Like, what? Co-parenting? You guys are going to become this big happy family? Like, I hear wedding bells already talking about co-parenting. I mean, that's great. That's healthy building in relationships. But how long have you guys been together to be talking about co-parenting? You guys got children that are around the same age, 15, 8. That's great. But it sounds like you guys are getting ready to build your family. And I could have sworn she just teased him 5 months ago? Not even that. So I'm like, wow, we're walking down the aisle already, Tia. But there's the things inside of herself, because this is everything that she wanted. So, when it's like that, sometimes you have to be a bit more careful not to fall. Oh, wow. Not to fall into the loops and the traps of the things that you want so badly. Because then the seven of wands kind of energy is like you'll fight and defend everything, even the red flags. You'll fight and defend anything and everything just because of the way it makes you feel, just because of it was everything you wanted and more. Or maybe not, it's everything you wanted, and maybe you're starting to realize as it goes on and on and on, maybe there are little things that are pet peevances, you know what I mean, those little pet peeves that kind of give you grievances. I think I forget that I messed with those phrases, but it's little things that start to mount up that you overlook in the beginning, especially when it's something you so wanted. You'll be willing to look past the red flags, willing to defend everything, willing to dress it up, make it look good. But then we have the Five of Swords in the future, and the Five of Swords, I forgot to turn that hourglass around, but the Five of Swords definitely symbolizes a friction within inside the mental conflicts and ideas. Could that be within inside of herself? Because this card shows that it's a battle within inside of herself, because it's all the swords are facing at one particular individual, just like all the wands are facing at one particular individual. So it's like everything within inside of herself is mental. That's why I said, I'm like, the relationship, what she's saying could very well be true, but how she's feeling on the inside is painting a different story. So because of that, it's something that she's got to work out for herself. Okay, that was the bottom. These cards just really want to mess me up today. Okay, we're going to shuffle them. Because I just want to pull some cards on the outside to see what's crowding and going on within Tia, basically. Oh, we have the tree, which always symbolizes a family unit. But hey, I may be jumping a little bit ahead of myself. We have a fox. We have a male man, a suitor. I like that. I do really like that. Oh, and the main female. Okay, I really do like that. That is her. Okay, I really do really enjoy that. So, wow. Honestly, the outside influences, what's surrounding and crowding Tia's mind, literally, as the Five of Wands, Five of Swords symbolizes, is like a split. Like her and her relationship, she's thinking about that. It's the beginning. It's the spark. It's something different. All those things, but also on the flip side, she's looking at like her past and the things that she is coming from, and maybe she doesn't, because the fox always symbolizes to be careful. Like they say, swiper no swiping. But foxes are sly, sneaky, and they can really be nice tricksters. And the fox doesn't always have to literally be a sort of type of energy. Sometimes some people are just literally fox energy, like shapeshifter, fairy type stuff. So because of that, it's an embodiment of a fox, and I'm trying to figure out who is embodying a fox literally in this reading. But I'm seeing that the fox could be herself. it could really be Tia that would be the fox in this situation, because this is all about how she's feeling with inside of her mental. And if that's the case, like I said, the problem right here at the very beginning is death, a resistance to transformation. And if you're resisting to change, then there's something within inside of yourself internally that is more looking out for yourself than everybody else in the picture. That's why I'm just like, that's great about how he makes you feel and all that. But how does he feel? How does Jay feel for Tia in this relationship? I'm just curious. Gotta ask. We have the Tower. We have the Fish. We have a pathway. One more card. We have a courthouse. I'm almost afraid to pull one more card. So we're just going to leave it right there, because that courthouse actually answered everything that I needed, because everything else was a bit confusing me because of the energy. Because we have a tower, which usually can symbolize two meanings. It could be in a double meaning. It could literally mean that you are isolating and secluding yourself in this relationship, so it's just you, Tia, and your family. Or it could mean the sense of how he's feeling in this relationship is a bit distant, like he has his own home and she has her own home, and them coming together is like merging empires. I felt like that was two different ways to really say the same thing, now that I think about it. But here we have the Fish, which symbolizes like you could say plenty of fish in the sea, but it could be like they travel in school, so it's like a camaraderie, it's like a coming together. It's giving me like Three of Cups kind of energy, because it symbolizes a support team. All great things, but when you're just like, if that's how you're feeling for Tia, then like where are we going here? Because then we have the pathways, which, what do you mean pathways in a relationship? Do you stay with Tia? Do you not stay with Tia? So then it's like, are you looking at other fish in the sea? Like, are you like an island in that sense, where you're still seeing what is out there, but it's like a dating trial testing period, kind of, a trial, like, what did they say? A 3-month, 4-month trial, something like that, a year trial. But then we have a pathway where it's like a decision is finally having to come to be made for Jay when it comes to Tia. And that decision is going to lead to a courthouse. And like I said, they're talking about co-parenting. It really does sound like wedding bells are in the distance. They could have already talked about getting married if they're already talking about co-parenting, or if it even is worth merging their families. That's where I feel like that merging of empires came along. See, we got all this type of energy, but Jay was giving very much less people cards and very much environmental. Because with Tia, everything was so personal, so about her and how she feels. And then when it's about Jay and how Jay feels for Tia, it's more open-ended landscape. You see a tower in a distance. Okay, that's not personal at all. We see fish. Okay, you caught a fish, but there's like 3 fishes, so that's not really personal. And then we have a pathway. There's just nothing to look at all. It's personal in the sense that he has to make a choice, but what is the choice we're making here? It's still open-ended. So then here we finally get some sort of resolve, which is where I said I'm happy enough to stop, which is at a courthouse, because that gets a little bit more personal, where a courthouse comes to a decision, making a jurisdiction, like making a judgment about whether should I stay or should I go. Do. So that being said, I think I'm just going to leave it right there. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed that reading. Like, it's questionable for Tia. Maybe I might have to do a whole separate reading on Jay, but I hardly know anything about him. He's an art teacher. So, the fish can represent, Pisces energy, very creative, very lofty, very imaginative, very dreamy, very like head, well, I guess instead of head in the clouds, fish in the sea kind of thing. You know, you see a paint, it's giving like, was it Van Gogh where there was like all the swirly paintings with the colors? That's like what he's giving me with this fish card. Now that I'm thinking about him being not that he's literally a Pisces, but just think of that artistic, creative energy inside of himself. He could very much that could also very much well come from a fire sign like a Leo, but I'm just giving very much really in tuned, especially because they very Buddhist and reading at night. So it's all about that liminal spaces. So I could really see how his cards are much more vast, like a landscape that has to be explored still when it comes. So for him, it's like an exploratory adventure to see where this goes. And for Tia, they both have the same, they both are on the same page for sure, but they're both approaching the same page. Like, you know, she's like on the front page and he on the back page, but they're still the same page because you got the front and back. That's the kind of energy that I'm getting. She's more focused with inside of herself. I manifest this. This is everything you wanted. And he on the flip side is like, this is everything I want too, but I'm just seeing where this is going. It's much more, you know, it's like committal but non-committal, like we're exclusive but like no hard labels and boundaries and stuff like that I'm getting. So with that being said, you know, it's like very free hippy dippy love that they kind of got going on, the kind of love where I guess the two people in that party will only be able to understand each other. So that's the kind of energy that I'm getting with them, but it definitely seems that they're solid, but definitely Tia's got a whole lot of trepidation, and maybe him being that intuitive individual he could possibly be, he could sense that from Tia and maybe doesn't want to get too invested. Anyway, that being said, I hope you enjoyed this quick reading on Tia Mowry and her relationship. I sure did. I didn't think I was going to get this complicated of a reading, but I guess in a sense, Tia's complicated herself. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the reading that I did at the very beginning from Essence and also the literal tarot reading. And with that being said, give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And don't forget about the hourglass. I forgot about the hourglass. But there's always an hourglass here to represent I'm going to get this, the days and the times of our lives. And that's exactly, anyway, thumbs up, subscribe. Become a sunflower. Leave your comments down below. Share your opinion. How do you feel about Tia and her relationship? Did you feel the same sentiment that Mama Crone feel? And hey, did you feel like the cards backed up what exactly could be the underlying current that Tia is repeating similar patterns, like a cyclic type of energy? So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. You know what I say before I go? I don't blow the recorder, but hype us up, subscribe to us, and don't forget to thumb us up. Hey, sunflowers.